Welcome to Mikon's Hardware. In this video I'm going to tell you about this underwhelming Huananzhi X99-CD4 motherboard from AliExpress. In short, just don't bother. The motherboard has only 2 memory channels, the motherboard does not support sleep mode, does not support overclocking, and it comes with all the standard Chinese limitations, such as smart fan function works only for 4-pin PWM fans, VRM is very basic, even though with the active cooling it's pretty decent. But what's more important is that the Chinese chipped out on the PCB layers and PCB quality, so not only we get only 2 memory channels, but we also have some PCI Express routing or power delivery issues. When I install 2 graphics cards, more often than not, I get some sort of issues. Sometimes the system completely locks and I get black screen and I have to power reset the machine, and sometimes the system would boot, but one of the graphics cards would fail to initialize. In the device manager, I would see an exclamation mark and the device would not function properly. In video control panel would not detect the other graphics card. And the interesting part is that sometimes it's one graphics card that's not detected, another time it's another graphics card that's not detected. When I install just one graphics card and an NVMe M.2 SSD, the motherboard works just fine. I cannot tell you if all of the CD4 motherboards have this issue, but I can tell you for sure that this is a very budget motherboard with not enough PCB layers and very questionable quality. Thus, if you already have one, it works for you, please be happy, just use it until it dies. If you don't yet have one and you're considering to buy, please buy something else than Huananzhi X99-CD4. With this, I have to say thanks for your attention and I hope it was somehow helpful. Now, if you're interested to see full detailed list of the test results with this Huananzhi CD4 motherboard, be my guest. I'm going to walk through my slides and tell you about everything I have tested with this motherboard. Full technical specification of Huananzhi X99-CD4 you can see on your screen. If you're interested in specific details, put the video on pause and investigate it. I will just mention the most important part. The motherboard comes with the Intel C612 or X99 chipset, and that means we get a bit more USB and SATA ports. Even though the motherboard has 4 DDR4 memory slots, we have only 2 memory channels, which is pretty disappointing. The motherboard also has 3 physical PCI Express X16 slots, but unfortunately only the blue ones are PCI Express 3.0 X16 connected to the CPU. The black ones are PCI Express 2.0 X1 connected to the chipset. Also, the motherboard unfortunately has only one M.2 slot for the PCI Express NVMe SSD drives. According to the motherboard label, you can also install their SATA SSD drives, but I cannot confirm that because right now I don't have any M.2 SATA drives to test. Finally, Huananzhi X99-CD4 comes with a dedicated TPM header. This one is a 14-pin header that accepts MSI TPM 2.0 modules. I bought the motherboard with the TPM module and it worked out of the box. The module was detected and Windows 11 was fully compatible. Regarding the test results, I am pleased to inform you that USB and SATA ports are working just fine. Even if I torture the USB 3 ports with my external Samsung T5 SSD, the system still works just fine. It's also nice to see 2 4-pin PWM fan headers with a separate smart fan function control in the BIOS. Of course, if you connect 3-pin fans, then those will rotate at 100% speed, no matter what fan settings you have. PCI Express X16 and X1 slots, as I have already mentioned, are not perfect. Even though they work, whenever I connect 2 graphics cards, the system goes into all sorts of issues and complications. M.2 slot, on the other hand, works just fine. Regarding audio, I don't have any complaints, but if you want the Realtek features of the Realtek codec, then you have to install the drivers manually. The link to download drivers, of course, will be available in the video description. Additionally, I can say that the BIOS on the motherboard uses standard WinBond W25Q128FEV chip, and it is fully unlocked. You can read and write the BIOS from Windows using FPT tool. VRM here is pretty basic. We have only 6 phases, only 2 MOSFETs on each phase, and I was not able to identify any specification of these MOSFETs. Nevertheless, with active cooling on the VRM plus a flower-like CPU cooler, the temperatures were acceptable. One of the VRM temperature sensors on the motherboard seems to work, and it seems to be indicating real temperature of the VRM. For example, with my external thermometer, I could not register more than 60 degrees Celsius, while the sensor would report somewhere around 83 degrees Celsius, which is somehow realistic. I have tested with EFI2697V3 Turbo Boost unlocked using 8064 stress test. The active VRM cooling is implemented with a 30x10mm 5V DC fan. Finding a good replacement for this fan would be problematic, but at the moment of testing, this fan did not cause me any issues. Still, these fans are known to go out of order pretty quickly and start to make all sorts of weird noises. In terms of features, the motherboard does not support sleep mode, but headless boot works. RAM timings and resizable bar options are available in the stock BIOS, and they do work. ECC mode of the memory also works, and PCI Express bifurcation works as well. Clear CMOS luckily works as well. Restore and power loss works, but for whatever reason, by default, the settings are hidden from the BIOS, and if you would need restore and power loss function, then you could flash modified BIOS from Mi 899. And the CPU power consumption sensor does not work properly, just like with many other Chinese X99 motherboards. For the CPUs and RAM, I have tested the Xeon EFI2697AV4, EFI2697V3, and Core i7-5820K. All three CPUs worked with no issues, and I was able to achieve maximum supported RAM speed. With i3-5820K, we also have very inefficient PCI Express routing. The CPU has only 28 PCI Express lanes, but for whatever reason they decided to route these lanes to the second PCI Express X16 slot instead of the first. So with i7-5820K, you would have to install your graphics card into the second PCI Express slot. And what's worse is that if your graphics card is only PCI Express X8, it will not be detected in the first PCI Express slot at all, because only the last 8 lanes are routed, not the first ones. Even though i7 is an unlocked CPU that could potentially be overclocked, with this motherboard you would not be able to do that unless there would be some modified or better BIOS from iEngineer or some other modders. Regarding EFI2697V3 that can be Turbo Boost unlocked, of course I have added support for Huananzhi X99-CD4 with pre-modified BIOS to my Mi 899 application. There you will find all sorts of voltage reductions depending on what CPU you have. As usual, the safe option would be to go with -50-50 50 mV. Finally, before I go into the conclusion, I have to say that Huananzhi online support goes from bad to worse. The motherboard came to me with a banned TPM 2.0 module, and I just wanted to ask if it's supposed to be like that, or I got a damaged TPM 2.0 module. Instead, I did not get any answers, and they demanded me to send them a full unboxing video. Unboxing video was not possible to send through AliExpress because they have size and time restrictions, so I tried to share the video through Google Drive or through YouTube. That didn't work either, they just ignored my questions and claimed not to be able to watch it. So obviously AliExpress is a lottery, but Huananzhi X99-CD4 seems to be a particularly risky one. If it would be up to me, I would probably pick something else than Huananzhi X99-CD4. If I would need an X99 motherboard with a proper TPM 2.0 support, then I would go with the Chiyoda X99-H9S. The motherboard is a bit smaller, so it fits into micro ATX chassis, and it has 4 memory channels. Yes, it doesn't have as many PCI Express, USB and SATA ports, but at the same time it also doesn't have power delivery issues, and those extra features are not needed for ultra-budget X99 gaming computers or workstations. With this, that's all I have for you. My final score for Huananzhi X99-CD4 would be 6 out of 10.